Hi, it's Jane in the Children's Room, and welcome to the virtual book fair. I wanted to show you a couple new chapter book nonfiction series. They're both biography series. They're similar in reading level to the Who Was series. The first one is VIP, very important people, obviously. They include many people of color. They have great back matter as well. Timelines. I really like how much biography and references they have in the back. And they have great illustrations. They're not photographs like in Who Was or in some of the other like DK biography series, but I think they do a really good job. This one is Dr. Mae Jemison. I think they do a really good job illustrating these. The next series is based on Chelsea Clinton's picture book, She Persisted. She now has early chapter book series. They're all women's biographies. Here's Harriet Tubman and Claudette Colvin. They are written by people of color like Lisa Klein Ransom. And again, they are illustrated black and white watercolor illustrations that I think are quite nice. They don't have the back matter that the VIP series has, but I still feel like they have legs. They can stand on their own. So those are two things to shop for in the children's room. The other chapter book idea I wanted to talk about is own voices. And I'm sure some of you have heard that term, own voices. And if you don't know what it is, it refers to an author from an underrepresented group writing from their lived experience rather than someone from outside of that group representation coming in and writing that perspective. I think it's very important that everybody knows what own voices, what that movement is, and why it's important to introduce to our kids, whether by talking about it or just by reading books by Black and brown folks. So you'll still see a lot of chapter books that have a diversity of ethnicities and abilities on the covers, but sometimes they read colorblind. The kids' experience and their stories are they don't read as authentic as perhaps an Own Voices story because there's not a lot of detail about any of the characters' families or backgrounds. So I wanted to talk about two of my new favorite Own Voices stories. Simon B Ryman by Dwayne Reed is new and written by a teacher from Chicago who is called the Rapping Teacher. Simon is a lyricist. He loves music. He wants to be a rapper. He lives in an urban neighborhood in Chicago. He's small for his age, and in this story he has to learn how to stand up for himself and use the support from his friends to stand up for himself. It is fun. It is alive. I think kids of all backgrounds will relate to the insecurities that everybody has when they're trying to tell their own story and what's important to them. So that's by Dwayne Reed, Simon B Ryman. And the next one is The Magical Reality of Nadia. This is written by Bassem Youssef, who is a comedian. He's a political satirist, and Catherine Daly. Both of these are illustrated a little bit in some way. There's a little bit of graphic novel in The Magical Reality of Nadia. Nadia is an Egyptian immigrant. She's in 6th grade. She loves facts. She loves everything about Egypt and thinks everyone else should too, so she loves to share her knowledge. There's a new kid who tests her and questions her. The book addresses racism and microaggressions, which is talked about through her project that she has to work on called What Makes America, America. So again, another authentic Own Voices story that every kid can relate to, but because of the level of detail about her family and traditions and culture, it just makes it that much more rich. So you should look out for those 2 new Own Voices chapter books. If you have any questions about other great Own Voices chapter books, you can always contact me in the children's room. Thanks.